What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brewed Opinions. Episode, what is it, KT? 22?
22, man.
The Big Double Deuce?
That's right.
Our favorite movie of all time, right?
Yeah.
But we are coming off of, let's put it this way, we are officially in WrestleMania mode.
We've been waiting for something, and it fucking happened.
And last night, all the loose ends were tied up. So many loose ends, except one major loose end, which we'll get into later, that we still don't know what's going on. But where else to start? 22 years in the business, never embraced a heel turn, and last night, epic. I can get behind this, KT. I'm loving it.
I know it was crazy, and it's like just the look on his face when he's looking at Rocco, he's hugging Cody. And it's just like, he's going to do it. It's really happening. Yeah. Like, no wonder they saved that for the end, because we were kind of wondering why that would be at the end and not the Elimination Chamber match.
And the WWE put out a tweet earlier in the day. It was like a promotional poster about Elimination Chamber, and it was The Rock, Travis Scott, and John Cena. And nobody caught it.
Yeah.
And nobody thought of it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody thought that Cena was like a little Easter egg. We talked about it on this show that CM Punk was going to be the one.
Yeah.
But now he's got his own problems.
Yeah.
But I thought I have been a big negative guy towards Cody, towards the whole thing. And honestly, this is what I think Cody needed.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. And it's just the whole thing. Even him telling Rock to go fuck himself was you don't.
What happened to the PG era?
Yeah, you don't hear about that anymore. I mean, you can tell it's been getting a little bit better with the Netflix move and
I guess it was 10:30 at night, so.
And there was a PLE, so they can get away with a little bit more. But yeah, you never hear him drop the F-bomb.
I hope. I'm a little confused with the inclusion of Travis Scott. I don't understand what that's about. They're just trying to get some kind of name power. I don't know.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're trying to tap into a different market for WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't know what purpose he's going to serve other than just being a famous rapper. That's on. I mean,
right.
But I really hope that Cena embraces this like Hogan did.
Yeah.
Your final run. What better way? I mean, it's great. What better way? And this is going to be great, dude. They are going to, and I don't think he's going to win at WrestleMania.
No,
I think this is going to be a long-going thing, and he's going to be like, I had to sell myself to the devil to get my 17th championship.
Yep, like let it play the whole year.
Yep.
Because before we went into this, I was thinking, like, how great would it be, thinking that they were going to do this with Cena, is, how Cena is, like, trying to win that 17th champion, and every PLE he's losing. And he starts doubting himself. Do it for the whole year, and then pay it off at the end. But this is even better.
I mean, I don't think anybody... There's a lot of predictions on what was going to happen. I don't think Cena joining The Rock was ever on anybody's mind. I thought CM Punk... There was many things. Roman, whatever.
There was a laundry list of people that Rock could have chosen if Cody.
And I think everybody assumed Cody was just going to do it.
And I thought they were going to do it, and then Cody was just going to be abused for a year by The Rock, and then he's going to have his standing up moment next year and pay it off, and he gets the fans back.
I've been a big guy against Cody. I mean, not against him, but just looking for something. And I think this is going to really take Cody to another level, because he's going to have to get dark, and he's going to have
to become the American Nightmare,
yeah.
Which is what we've been waiting for. Because this polished champion bullshit, it's great.
And we've talked about it.
But he's got that tattoo on his neck for a reason, and he's called the American Nightmare, not the Dream, for a reason.
And it got stale, and this is what I believe he needed. And I believe this is what Cena needs to end his career.
It's going to be awesome.
This is the only thing Cena hasn't done in his career. Fully embraced heel.
And The Rock doing the final boss character. It's awesome. I think I heard a thing with, what was the last night Triple H was talking? He's like, we haven't even scratched the surface of this final boss character. I don't know if it was before WrestleMania or if it was after, but during this press conference. Or if it was something I seen leading up to it. Maybe I watched it yesterday beforehand. But he was talking about the final boss character and like how this is going to be. And The Rock owns it. I mean, having the belt with Cody's dad's death date on it and Cody's soul written on it.
And rubbing the blood on it.
It's just, Rock's doing great work. This is going to elevate Cody, I think, to a whole nother level. Him and Cena will be awesome on doing promos.
I hope Cena can do this.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, I just hope that he can embrace this like Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I saw someone tweeted last night, Hollywood Cena has arrived. And I was like, it's true. I mean,
they're playing on that too.
Yeah.
Because The Rock's, I mean, even like if you, was it SmackDown, I think, when The Miz was talking to Cody, and he was talking about, you don't know this A-list crowd, you should do it, it'll change your life, you should go be a part of it's a different world out here in Hollywood. And, it's just they were just kind of like really... That whole appreciation to Cody Friday night from The Rock, getting him the truck and a special.
There was so many hints looking back, and simple things done by other characters. Like you just said, The Miz's speech was telling to all of us.
It was a small little thing, but it was huge.
It was telling
all of them.
To what
CM Punk talking to Cody about not selling his soul. He's like, I would have done it 20 years ago, easy.
Yeah.
But now I'm this way. I mean, everyone that kind of came to Cody, I mean, even R-Truth, like, look at this. That dude's so funny, man.
So good. That little segment with him eating the sushi and the shrimp, it was so funny.
He's just got good moments, man. But
you know what I think could make this more effective? Cody needs to be by himself.
Yeah.
Like, he has to deal with this by himself. He can't expect for... he's got no friends right now because all his friends are tied up in a whole nother thing after last night.
That was the thing we've been asking for the last 2 months. Where's everything going? And last night, everything pretty much
we've got so much to talk about from Elimination Chamber. I mean, the week of wrestling was fantastic, but I mean, nothing compares to what we watched last night. I mean, we've experienced heel turns before. Mm-hmm. We all remember the Hogan heel turn, which will go down in the history of wrestling and the creation of one of the biggest groups ever known to man. The leg drop heard around the world.
Right.
I mean, what do we call this? I mean, we've seen, The Rock be a corporate champion. We've seen Stone Cold join Vince. We've seen these legendary...
And Cena early in his career, before he became Cena, was a heel to a point.
Yeah.
But not like what everybody wanted for the rest of his career, where he was just always babyface to the point where the fans were like, "You suck, Cena." Like
what are we gonna look back and call last night?
And it's so funny too. What is great about the Cena turn is that this time back, you haven't been hearing the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." The fans have just embraced Cena coming back for this farewell tour, and then they kick us in the nuts, and basically, literally, great. He kicked Cody in the nuts. He kicked the fans in the nuts.
It was great. Like the whole crowd last night, I think just wanted it. Mm-hmm. They wanted it.
Well, you and I were like, "Why is Cena staying in the ring?" After the Elimination Chamber, like
when he hugged him and he had that look at The Rock, and The Rock does the doom and did this. Yeah. And it was just
it's true though. We were like, why is he still in the ring? Like, he should, this should be a whole new segment.
Yeah.
And Cena's just kind of hanging out, like,
he played it great up into that. He was like, don't take it. And he gives him the high five. And then, like...
You knew it was coming. We and Jay are on the edge of the couch, watching it with everybody. And
this is the only thing,
I think I hit Jay's knee and was like, it's happening, it's happening.
My daughter officially said that she hates John Cena. So that's mission accomplished.
Yep.
But, we were sitting here last week on this podcast for the first 20 minutes. We totally said how confusing the promo was, everything. We didn't know what they were doing, but obviously they had a plan, like they always do. And I think we said that. I said, we hope they have a plan.
Yep.
And last night we kind of saw it. Did we think that Cena was the plan? I thought CM Punk was going to be the plan. I thought there was going to be something with his favor, something. I think I texted you on Friday night. I said,
you did, yeah.
CM Punk wins the Chamber. Rock takes it away from him, takes another main event away from him, and then he has to, So there was so many scenarios, but I just hope that moving forward, the Cena embraces this and continually is able to bring it week in and week and make the fans hate him even more, just like Hogan did.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be here week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
At least up until Mania. Then maybe he can take some time off. But I don't want this thing to end at Mania. I hope this is a year-long program. I hope the Cody Rock Final Boss Cena thing goes for a long time.
I mean, the possibilities. I mean, we went from not having any direction to now being like, whoa.
And the whole thing is like Rock can keep adding to his stable. I mean, he wants to add tag champs. I mean, they can create a whole faction.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but
Like a new corporation.
It could be. Like, he's the final boss. He might start bringing in all kinds of people to be a part of this that might affect other people. So, like, let's let this story tell out for a while. I hope it's not a one and done and it's all over at WrestleMania.
It just depends on how you've got two Hollywood guys
right
in the biggest storyline going into WrestleMania now, which you don't know what is going to happen after WrestleMania because of what is their schedule. You know that they have their schedule. Let's
enjoy what we're going to get, and hopefully it is for a long time. But yeah, dude, Elimination Chamber started. I mean, we can start with the first match with the women's, and the question we've been asking me and Jay on the podcast over the last 2 months is what happened to Jade.
And I called it too.
Yep.
When she came running in the ring. Well, last week when we brought up they're starting to talk about Jade and they had the video footage, I was like, there's no way that Raquel and Liv were the ones that did it.
No, and then I think it was on SmackDown or maybe it was Raw. I guess it was Raw. When the Judgment Day had their backstage stuff. And Finn's like, you guys went ahead and attacked Jade, and Liv was like, we weren't the ones who did that.
Yeah.
Like, I know we were walking by. But
little subtle things.
Yeah. It wasn't a big moment, but it was like little things.
And I truly believe that they weren't the ones.
Because if Liv had done it, she'd have that smirk on her face, but she was like, we didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like totally confident in saying it.
And even when Jade was coming in the ring, Liv was in the center of the ring like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I even said, Kenny, I said, and attack Naomi. And I don't necessarily like the fact that Bianca won that.
But maybe that's what they're
chamber. Doing. And like, why doesn't Jade have an issue with Bianca? Like, she beat up Naomi, which made sense, and she was in the chamber. Why didn't she come out and handle Bianca? That's supposedly your best friend.
Maybe she doesn't think Bianca had anything to do with it. And maybe she didn't. She was, she was acting like... Bianca played good when she was locked up, pounding the glass and all that stuff.
And maybe they need to answer that question. Like, maybe Bianca truly didn't know. And then you got to find out why Naomi did it.
Right.
Because she wanted those tag belts. She wanted to have the success she's had.
And who? Oh, they're going up against the winner of Rhea and Sky, right? On Monday night or whatever. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think of where the belt stands. But that's the belt they're going for because Charlotte and Tiffy's on the other one.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's going to happen there, but obviously that story is going to be circulating the belt, I would think, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but Jade looked good last night. She looked like she was in shape, always, and she came in. I don't know what really happened with Jade, like why she was off TV, if she was really hurt or was it truly a story?
Just a story.
But not typically do you get 3 months off for a story. You're usually hurt or or filming a movie or something like that.
There's all kinds of rumors, and we talked about it on the podcast at the time, where, I even heard things where, like, they thought maybe she was still too green and needed some more work, and maybe she's been working her out. She looked it. She looked amazing.
Well, she's very physically fit. I mean,
she looked even more jacked.
She's a goddess.
So maybe she did more. Maybe she had to do some more in-ring work behind the scenes.
Yeah. But she looked good. It was a great attack. It was vicious.
Yeah, slammed her head in the cage.
Yeah, I thought it was well done. It was great.
And all before Elimination even started.
Yeah, I thought it was great. There was a lot of things that we've asked for, like, where are these certain people and when are we going to start telling the stories? And Jade comes back, and that's a major story. I think they're going to do that. And then, then it moved into the unsanctioned match of Sammy and KO, and we got the return of Randy Orton, like we thought.
I know, that was awesome too. And what a match that those two put on. We knew that was going to be
It was one of those matches, it was dark arena. They did the unsanctioned thing. I think we talked about where do they put that match on the card because technically it's unsanctioned.
Yeah, we thought it might be before the show, might be after the show.
Like the last time we truly saw an unsanctioned match, I think was Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa at NXT TakeOver when those guys put on one of the greatest matches in NXT history, and they did it at the end of the show with a dark arena, like the match, like the pay-per-view was over.
Right.
And I thought maybe they would start, because it's weird to me, like the little details I probably pay too much attention to versus the normal person does.
I get it, and I know what you're talking about because it is stupid. You're like,
It's unsanctioned, but we're putting it in the middle. And why do we have a referee? We talked about this.
Yeah.
Like,
Who
I don't
gives a
care about a
shit
3
about
count.
a pinfall.
I don't care about a 3 count.
The
I don't
winner's-
need a referee. I know why referees out there, safety.
Yeah.
You know, there's real life to this.
I know.
Like safety, time. You know,
Yeah, they got to keep the show on.
Yeah,
on track.
there's a lot of real reasons why a referee is out there, but story wise, I don't need a referee out there.
Yeah.
Like,
For those
I
of you
don't
who don't
care
know,
who-
the ref pretty much caused the whole match. Like,
Yeah.
he's letting the guys know.
And he's direct earshot to the back
Yeah.
to inform the wrestlers when it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
When it's time to
when
do
he looks
things.
like he's checking on them to see if they're
Yeah,
okay.
he's telling them
Once
important
he really
information.
is checking to see if they're okay, but 2, he's like, hey, this is the next sequence that's coming. Get your guys' spots on.
It's the one thing. I just don't need to see a referee in an unsanctioned match. I could care less who pins who. They should be fighting until they can't fight anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it was cool the way they at least, they made it like dark. They made it seem like there was no one in the arena. Like, it kind of was like made to feel like they were left.
All right.
They were left to their own demise, you know. But
it was good. I mean, the match was great. I mean, they hit a lot of big spots. The barbed wire, the barbed wire chair was a nice effect. The double table flip that Sammy did. It
was exactly what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
with the return of Orton,
and Orton was great. I mean, now is Sammy off TV for a little bit because they really played up his neck injury. Mm-hmm. Is it just go to Randy KO, or does that turn into a triple threat match at WrestleMania? There's a lot. I mean, obviously, there's no doubt in my mind that it's KO versus Randy. Is Sammy somehow in the mix?
Right, and we'll see.
Or is Sammy maybe has a legitimate injury and he needs time off, and that was his time?
Yeah, Sammy's one of those guys that's there every day, so maybe he needs some time off.
It's a bad time to take off. You're going into WrestleMania, and that's what these guys all live their entire life.
I'm
for.
sure they've got that all planned.
But Randy, we're like all the questions that we've been asking on this podcast for the last couple of weeks was, when are these people coming back? And we got Jade.
And when are we going to get some direction?
Yep, we got Randy.
And then within the men's chamber match, pretty much between the promo Friday night of all 5 guys coming out on SmackDown and what transpired in the match, we kind of see what those matches are going to be. You're going to have Drew and Priest. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Great.
How they build that up and what type of match they have. I mean,
it'll be the colossal giant match. Like,
they've had their matches before.
Yeah.
And then we have, I guess, all indications are CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and the big missing piece in all of this is, where in the world is the tribal chief?
Yeah.
We're 6 weeks away from WrestleMania, and we've got no Roman Reigns.
We haven't seen Roman or Paul.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
for it, and before that, he didn't do much.
Mm-mm.
And he loses the Royal Rumble, and we do something. You know, what is he even gonna do, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where does Roman Reigns? Where does he fit in? We thought he fit in with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and does something with the favor come in? When are we going to see what this favor is that CM Punk has with Paul Heyman?
I know, because
that was after Royal Rumble. I said this is a triple threat, but Roman disappears. He doesn't even show up last night. You could have done something.
Yeah. And he's nowhere to be found, and Paul Heyman has been nowhere to be found. So it will be interesting, to see if they show up Monday night on Raw and start laying out his ground, whatever he's going to do. But I can't see it being anything to do with the Solo and them guys. Solo and Fatu seem to have
all
this
indications are pointing to a Solo Fatu WrestleMania match.
I just think Solo's doing good work right now.
So, I mean, I've said it several times on this podcast that I love what Jacob Fatu is doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is coming out. I mean, I thought he was going to win that number 1 contender tournament, whatever they did. And I understand LA Knight, Louisiana Knight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all indications show that LA Knight is going to get that title back. I don't see much of the Shinsuke character. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
But I thought a little impromptu, let's get some attention on. I think they need to do the same thing on Raw to get some attention to the Intercontinental belt.
Yeah.
But I thought Ludwig Kaiser, but but AJ Styles and Braun Breaker are kind of. I mean,
think
there's
that-
a lot of people in that little intercontinental. Like, remember the old days when like there was like 2 levels. It was everybody going for the belt, everybody going for the IC belt, and the IC belt was like kind of like your stepping ground to move up to the next level. Now I feel like we have a nice level at that IC belt with Breaker, Kaiser. I mean, AJ Styles is coming. I mean, he's been done it all.
Yeah, but he's a great guy to put in with Braun because he's the type of wrestler. Even though he's a lot smaller than Braun, he can work with a guy like Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
and carry the match and help him put a good thing together. And I actually, you know me, I'm not a big Braun fan, but I'm kind of liking how his new look is a little bit more. And
yeah, they're just turning him into a character and not just a amateur wrestler,
right,
you know,
exactly
like his parent or his dad and uncle were.
And I think AJ would be awesome with him. I think they could really have a nice.
They had a
thing.
nice moment the other night on Raw, and I think they could build off of that.
But you're right, and it's cool, and I hope that's what they're getting back to with the tiers, because my problem with wrestling all the time, I was talking to a buddy the other day, and we've talked about it a lot, is they've after the Bloodline disposed and Judgment Day's been kind of, that needs to just break up, and Final Testament's gone. We don't have any factions in the business right now in the WWE world. Wrestling needs factions because there's too many guys and there's not enough TV time to tell all these stories. So when you're trying to have individual story around certain belts, it doesn't lead for a good product.
They were doing so good with all these factions with Bloodline, Final Testament, Judgment Day.
Even the White Six coming and then that got squashed. Like, I don't even know if that's ever coming back.
Well, there's some theories. I mean, Bo Dallas is off the road, and I don't know what's going on, if he's seriously hurt or he's done something. But Wyatt Six, I saw something the other day. Wyatt Six hasn't been on TV since December 9th.
Yeah.
And there's rumors on somebody else kind of potentially. I saw a theory out there of someone.
You said this to me last night, and I actually
that could take it over. And we're starting to see his separation from the Judgment Day. You could see the beast, the demon of Finn Balor taking over the Wyatt Six. Because the Wyatt Six cannot die.
No.
It was too big. They're already doing
it was too awesome of a debut.
Yeah, they're even showing, like, when Alexa Bliss is backstage, they're even doing the clip, like the screen and everything. So,
and she's carrying that doll for a reason.
Or does Alexa Bliss just take it over? Because she was the protege of The Fiend.
Of Bray. Yeah.
And,
but yeah, because I was telling you this, like, I can't remember if it was SmackDown or, it must have been Raw, because Judgment Day's on Raw, right?
Yeah.
When Finn was in the ring, was it against Braun? There was, I forget who he was going against, but he was in that stance on the mat. They both were. It was Braun, because Braun was like the junkyard dog, and he was in that demon pose on the mat. And before you said something to me, I caught it the other night, and I'm like, ooh, is he going back? Because we haven't seen the Beast in years.
The demon.
The demon.
We haven't seen him.
The demon in years. And I always loved that side of Finn Balor. Like, I just thought that was a cool, I'm not usually into those characters like that, but that was cool because it was an alter ego. Yeah. Just like how Bray had his alter egos.
Whenever he was dressed up as the demon back in NXT, I mean, those were some of the greatest matches.
Oh, it was so sick. Yeah. The entrance, the way he came out. So that would be cool. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but when there's rumblings.
The Wyatt Six needs to happen.
Yeah, it was such a great debut.
I don't know what's going on with Bo Dallas, if it's an injury, if it's punishment, whatever's going on. They can't let those other characters die. Like, I mean, they got something really good there. Let's go back to it. I mean, even someone like you've got so much potential in a Karrion Kross. Like,
right,
he can do something with. I mean, there's so many possibilities, and I hope that maybe Bo Dallas is hurt and they're just waiting. I don't know, but obviously it's not over, because when Alexa Bliss is backstage on a segment, they are doing, like she was talking to Nia Jax the other night, and the screen did the thing, and it was like, okay, so they're not for giving up on that, but
talking about what led to that was, like, you know, having to have factions, I think, is huge when the industry, and those tiers, like, you got your heavyweights, those, like, the guys like Seth and Cody and all the big dudes go for that belt, and now you have the IC belt, the United States belt. And people belong in those tiers until they've earned their spot.
Yeah.
Because some guys just aren't ready to be at that main level, man. Yeah. As stale as Cody gets, when he comes out as a champ, you still know like that dude's the best in the business right now.
Yeah.
It's just the way you have to carry yourself, and I just
I keep watching this over and over. This.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
The look on Cena's face, it's
Yeah.
like, and then Rock doing the throat slit.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I'm so happy that this happened, and I really hope that Cena can. How does the Cena come out? Does he come out in the suits?
Yeah, he's
Does
gonna
he come out like he can't come out dressed his old way?
No.
If he's going to be a corporate with the final boss, he needs to dress the part.
Yeah.
Like he can't come out with the baggy jeans and the sneakers and the shirt and the never give up and all that stuff.
Well, remember when Total Divas was around and he was dating, when he was in real life dating Nikki Bella? Whenever you'd see him on that show, he was always dressed to the nine. Suit, tie. So, like, he should go to that kind of a character when he's not wrestling. He can go back to the jean shorts when he wrestles. I don't give a shit about that. But, like, hopefully he starts coming out, like, as, like...
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how his image, like, what...
Or even just a badass. Like, because, like, The Rock doesn't wear the suits. He wears all that flamboyant, like, nice vest and shit like that. Like, have a look.
Like, the look is going to be very important moving forward. Like, Hogan embraced it with the dyed beard and the headband went all black. I mean, he embraced that. So I hope Cena does it as well.
Yeah. Still don't get the Travis Scott thing, but it might have just been for the Elimination Chamber. I don't know if he's going to be around or not.
I mean, they were talking to him about... They were talking to The Rock.
What belt was he carrying? Wasn't he carrying some type of belt or strap or something?
Probably that Rock belt or something that he has.
Oh, the People's Champ, maybe?
Yeah.
The People's Belt?
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah. But, I mean, there are some pretty interesting ways that this can go. And I think last night was huge. And what, like CM Punk and Seth, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I forgot, like, Cena even had the moment with CM Punk. It was almost, like, they were just setting up the Cena thing to, like... just totally turn heel. It was awesome. Like, he was playing up everything. He came out with his new towel. Like, you know, like, never give up bullshit.
That was not on anybody's mind that he was going to turn heel last night.
I still hate seeing the ads on the ring, dude. Just looking at it, I just don't like it.
It's all about money, man.
I know it is.
It's all about money. They got more money coming out of their crevices than we'll ever know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have streaming services paying you billions of dollars just to have your product on it, I mean, that's a different level.
Yeah, the chamber match itself was great. Like, just watching the end of it.
Both of them were. The girls did good, too.
Yeah, the girls was awesome as well. I mean, it always makes for a good match, just being locked up in that thing and having the time where they come out. You know, it's just a cool thing. You're wondering who's next.
Yeah.
Who's going to start the match. So,
what'd you think of, we haven't really talked about, what'd you think of Logan Paul last night?
I think Logan's going to be, really good in the business. I just think he's still so green.
Yeah.
But he had his moments, right? I mean, it's kind of forgettable to me. Like, I'm trying to think about it from last night, and I don't really have any...
It's funny, like, Drew, Damian, and Logan Paul got swallowed up in the situation.
I think the whole event got swallowed up by the Cena turn. I mean, that's really all you want to talk about. I mean, we could have talked for a whole hour and not even talked about the rest of the card.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't know if
it's such an epic thing that happened last night. I hope wrestling fans are really excited because it's...
And I hope wrestling fans understand how big of a moment that was last night. Mm. You have one of the most beloved characters.
Who said he would never, ever do it.
22 years of wrestling. Never once embraced a full heel turn. He was organically bad because the fans were tired of him. Where they were always chant Cena sucks and this and that. And, like, you know.
It was what was happening with Cody. I mean, like, the way you were feeling towards Cody is the way most people felt when Cena was actually still full-time in the business. I mean, you always appreciated him, but it's like you wanted to see something new. We finally got it last night. And I think another cool element to all of this is, like, I watched the interview. I think I've talked about it on here before. It was Cody was on that Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz or whatever, the comedian one. And they were talking to him. He did like a full 2 hour session with them.
Yeah,
and he was talking about being the babyface champion and how Cena did it and how important it was to Cody to be like Cena and be that for the kids. Because that's really why those guys are the way they are. I mean, if you look at Cena's Make-A-Wish, I think he holds the Guinness World Record for how many. I mean, the guy's done like it's insane how much.
He's gonna Make-A-Wishes anymore?
Yeah, I don't think so now. Yeah, but to have that angle too, that's something they can really tie into because I know Cody's going to use that. I tried to model being a champion like you. I tried to, and you're going to turn your back on these people. Cody's always about it's not my belt, it's their belt. Yep. Like this is awesome, and if they do it right, which I'm sure they will, I mean, H must be going through the moon that he got this to fucking happen. I just hope
that Cena can pull it off.
Yeah,
like
at this point in his career,
like that he really obviously he has to be on board for this for them to do it.
Yeah.
But
it may end up being Cena's best work, man. When it comes at the end of the day,
it was Hogan's best work
because
I keep going back to
Cena's
Hogan.
still one of the best promo guys of all time. I mean, he just kills it on the mic, so you're not worried there. But it's like you said, him owning this new character. His in-ring, he's not as good as he used to be, but he's a lot older.
He's losing a step, yeah.
But he still can carry a match. And with Cody's, we talk about all the time how good the Rhodes are, his brother included. Yeah. They can put anyone over in a ring. So,
and maybe Dustin comes back.
I was thinking
he's the one that helps Cody through this. I mean, I don't know what his contract is with TNA because with AEW because they totally squashed what they were going to do with him and MJF. I don't even know what happened there, but I just think that
I would think they'd release Cody asked.
I keep referring to Hogan because this turn last night was Hogan-esque. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. Mm-hmm. Was when Hogan dropped the leg on Randy Savage, and
for Cena, like I said, he's always said he would never turn like.
And then to join forces with the
Rock
of all things. I think that's what really threw everyone for a loop because it's with the Rock and the history that they have with the Rock.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that.
And the egos and how's this going to work? But it looks like he's number one soldier to Rock's new army. I mean, that's what he is. He's like, I bet you he's going to be the hired assassin. And I think you're right. It's like, he couldn't do it on his own to get that 17th title, so he's finally selling his soul. I hope Brock has Cena's soul on his belt next time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
What'd you say Cena did at the presser afterwards?
He didn't see. That's what they put out right there, and nobody even noticed it. It was Travis Scott, The Rock, and Cena on the promotional thing.
See, and he does have a belt on. Yeah, it must be the People's Belt, like the Rock's belt that he made or something.
Yeah, but no, in the press conference, the Rock Cena just came in, picked the mic up, dropped it on the thing, and walked out. Didn't say a word.
Questions? Yeah, nice.
It was good. I mean, they pulled it. They got me interested. To be honest with you, they got me interested in Cody again.
Yeah, who kicks off Raw tomorrow night? Cena and Rock or Cody?
Well, technically, they're not on Raw.
I know.
But, I mean, they still show up. Right. I don't know. I mean,
who's on what fucking roster, dude? It's like everyone shows up everywhere. I wish they wouldn't
do it anymore like
that. I know.
But, yeah, they could definitely...
Well, your draft's coming up, isn't it?
I hope they just don't even do that draft. But they definitely could... I mean, you almost would have... I don't care what show you're on. I mean, you just committed the biggest act in wrestling in the last 10 years. You better lead off Raw Netflix.
Yeah. No, and they're there. I mean, I'm sure Raw's going to be in Toronto or somewhere in Canada.
Buffalo.
I think. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be close to wherever the
But it's time to start ramping this up, and they've got to start getting the whole card. I mean, you got 2 nights worth of card. Now the question is,
when's Mania? April, usually mid-April,
5th, whatever that second weekend is. The now you have to start thinking about how they put this card together. Night 1 main event, night 2 main event. Now I think Jay Gunther just moved to night 1 main event.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's either I forgot about Jay and Gunther because they weren't even
there last night.
No. So it's exciting times, man. We'll have a lot to talk about in the next lead up to.
Yeah, I mean,
all these next episodes of the podcast are going to be jam packed full of fucking info.
Yeah, there's going to be WrestleMania season. We're local PWR season. Next week, episode 23. We will have Forrest Nystrom. We've already got it booked. It's coming. He's going to be on the show with us next week. And they had a Riot Wrestling event last night. Unfortunately, we had to change the schedule just because of Forrest had a commitment, which is okay. He's a wrestler.
Yep.
So next week we're going to do it, and we're going to preview Shamrock Slamboree, which is going to be the following week. We're going to talk about the new group.
Yep.
What's happening? Ironside, Kyle the Dynasty Steel.
Yep.
What Forrest thinks of that. He was involved. He was the one that took the brunt of it. I'd like to get Ironside on the show. I believe he has a lot of things to say.
Yep.
I love Ironside, and I thought something was up that night, and it was. We were right. I mean, there was something weird about him walking around all night. So PWR is, they had a quick turnaround to another show. They've already announced some matches here, and we'll see, if we're going to see Criberius and and what's going to happen with Shane and everything. So we got a lot coming up. We're not only in WrestleMania season, we're in local WPWR season.
That's right.
Which never ends.
Yep.
But yeah, we've got a big couple, 6 weeks probably lead up.
Yep.
And every show, that's 12 shows, 6 Raws, 6 SmackDowns to tell a story.
And who knows if they have a Saturday Night Main Event in between there too. I don't know that they will, but
I don't know,
because it's been a while since the last one, right?
Yeah, they might not do one during this period.
Right. I don't know. I was just thinking there might be one sprinkled in, but you would think we'd already know about it.
Yeah. I mean, look what else, there's also something else big happening with WWE NXT and TNA.
Yeah.
Like, we had a historic moment with the Hardy Boys back on WWE TV at NXT.
Yeah.
And it was the reception they got, and now Santino set up the Hardy Boys versus Fraxium for the TNA World Tag Team Championship.
Awesome.
At the NXT pay-per-view coming up. And then you have Moose and Lexus Steel. Great match the other night. This whole thing with Moose and Obafemi is, you got 2 monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters. And you got the System, and now you have Obafemi, and he's kind of aligned with the Hardy Boys and everybody that's going to go up against the System.
Yeah, and that'll probably all lead up to the NXT event before WrestleMania, because it's usually they have their takeover or whatever.
Well, they have
Friday night.
They have Roadblock coming up in a couple weeks, but it's just going to be on Tuesday night. It's not going to be like a PLE. But yeah, typically it's NXT Takeover. Is
Friday
usually
night. Going into
it's a huge night.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they'll do Friday night now because SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. That might be the week before. I don't know how that's going to work out.
Either way.
Yeah, but that weekend is going to be packed, and then the Raw after WrestleMania is at the T-Mobile Arena. So it's like 4 straight nights in Vegas.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, that would be a heck of a trip to go to.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on. The rest of the shows AEW kind of just got forgotten this week because TNA and NXT had a great show. And then obviously Elimination Chamber, telling the story they did last night with the biggest heel turn in the history of the last 25 years.
Yeah, AEW was probably like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. What are we going to do now? Because AEW does have Revolution coming up. I think something's got to happen with that belt. I'd like to see Cope win the belt. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are calling for, they'd love to see Moxley turn face. Something, there's just a lot of different things that AEW is struggling with right now. And AEW, it's a shame because they have so much potential.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys over there.
And it's they're releasing guys and they're coming to NXT. First it was Ethan Page, all ego, and then now Ricky Starks. He's Ricky Saints now, but that was a big release, and now all indications point towards Aleister Black's coming back too.
Oh, really?
Aleister Black might be that Wyatt Six type guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What he did with the House of Black in AEW, with Brody King and Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews or whatever he goes by, Buddy Ripley. But like there is possibilities of. I mean, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, whatever. I mean, he's Aleister Black in WWE. Could he be a guy that comes back and leads the Wyatt
Well, I bet
Six?
it's more enticing for them to come back, one, because you're working for WWE, but, I mean, even having to go back to the NXT level, this connection with the TNA thing, like you're saying, is just awesome, that they're cross-promoting and putting guys on TNA TV, and TNA guys are coming to NXT, and, excuse me, eventually they can all climb the roster.
The cool thing about when I like to tune, I mean, I've probably tuned into TNA more than anything. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's because I want to see who's going to be there.
Yeah.
And now NXT, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got the women coming over, and you got all sorts of stuff going on.
There's not enough time in the week for all this fucking wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch every show from start to finish. You know, especially with, you know,
Busy
Raw,
lives and
busy
everything.
lives, and Raw being 3 hours, and SmackDown being 3 hours, and TNA and AEW. Then you got AEW Collision, you got NXT. Every night of the week.
Every night of the
something,
week is something.
except Sunday night.
Yeah.
But now Sunday night's got LFG and the A&E lineup of all the WWE stuff. But you know, there's so much going on and leading up into WrestleMania. I'm excited for it, man. It's the heel turn last night. I think Cody needed that.
Yeah, we're in a good place, man. I'm excited for the next 6 weeks to see how this all unfolds.
Yeah.
I'm excited for tomorrow night, Monday night. Raw.
Yeah.
See who kicks off the show, see how it finishes. I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we need to hear. We need to hear from Cena.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what kind of what am I trying to say here? What kind of how he's going to come out on the mic? What is the verbiage going to be like? What is the tone going to be like? Like what we talked about earlier. What will he be wearing? What is the look going to be like?
I almost want to see how the arena, how they choose to.
I don't know where they're at.
Right.
Buffalo.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how the fan reception is going to be.
Who knows? He could get cheered because everybody's wanted this for so long.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's definitely, I'm interested. Like I pay attention to the little details, like the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match. Like I don't need a referee in an unsanctioned match.
Right.
I don't care who pins who. Like those are little things that we don't need that.
No.
Like
because once you call it an unsanctioned match and like we don't have any liability, then it should be like to the death. Not really, but it should be like.
I mean, you fight until nobody can fight anymore. Like who cares about a pin?
Right.
It's unsanctioned.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just like those little details that really, it's those little details that I pay attention to, that I catch, that are important to the storytelling.
Yeah. Does it really matter? No, but it's like, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Like where that match was on the card. If it's unsanctioned, why is it going in the middle of a pay-per-view?
Right. Yeah.
Like it should be either at the beginning, and then they could have had that whole match, and then when it was over, they could have done the whole signature. Like
they could even have had someone addressing the arena and welcome to Elimination Chamber, and then those two just come fighting in the crowd, like, and it starts from there, and then the cameras just follow them for 30 minutes or however long the spot is.
Yeah, and then afterwards. You know,
well, it ended up being 45 minutes. My buddy was counting the time because I said 45 minutes, and he kept giving me thinking it's like the match was 30 minutes, and he thought he won, but it's like no. By the time Orton came out, it was a 45-minute time fill. So.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done a lot of different things as far as like
because it wasn't a busy card last night. There wasn't that many.
I mean,
matches.
the Elimination Chamber matches are like an hour each.
Yeah, that's
it's just like the Royal Rumble.
It's
like
the draw.
Yeah. You know, the Tiffany, Trish, and I mean.
No, I forgot all about that.
I hate to say this, but I don't need to see Nia Jax on TV anymore.
I know.
It just doesn't do it for me.
And why are we still dealing with Nia when you're going against Charlotte at Mania?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the nod for Toronto and Trish. I mean, one final thing, and this is what they probably decided to do.
I love it. Trish can be on TV anytime she wants.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they did that spot.
Right.
But
let's see Tiffy and Charlotte now. Like, I'm done seeing her dealing with Nia. It's over. She stole your belt. Get over it. Get out of the main light.
And I said this last night. There was I think there was a vignette in the pregame show. Not before their match, but it was Tiffany they were working out or something with Trish, and she was talking, and she sounded completely different. And I even said to you, I said, why doesn't she talk like that on the microphone? Mm-hmm. Because when she gets on the microphone, she's very high pitched and squeaky, and you're not going to get people believing you're a badass when you talk like that. And I just listened to her talking naturally to Trish, and I was like, that's the tone that she has to have.
Yeah.
And again, those are the little details that make characters become believable. That's why Charlotte Flair comes out and is a badass because of her tone. And if she's gonna swallow up Tiffany. Like, yeah, it's already happened.
If Tiffany's doing this, the little girl, cute Tiffy time and all that. It was great. It got you over, but now own that.
Yeah.
Be like, it's Tiffy time, bitch.
Let's get a little bit more bass in your voice. Like, things like that are important to me. I mean, those are the things that you're trying to tell. You know who I want to see, however we might get there one day, is I want to see Jade versus Charlotte.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, I think that could be something good.
Yeah.
Because Jade's not terrible on the mic.
No,
she believes in her. She believes in her gimmick.
Yeah.
But I need to see. Tiffany has a lot to prove in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't, I guarantee you that this is a test. Quick. Like if she can't hang with Charlotte, Triple H is going to yank that belt right off.
She'll drop that belt and may never see it again.
Yeah. Because like right now, like she needs to get stronger. Like as far as like, I need to believe in you more.
And they obviously are questioning things because you had to bring in Trish over the last month to help Tiffany. So they're surrounding her with support and guidance.
They're giving her the tools, but she's going to have to fly with this thing on her own at some point.
Yeah, and Charlotte's no easy task.
She's going to have to
like be you able said, she could swallow her up in the ring.
She's going to have to, and we're not even talking about like wrestling.
No, yeah.
We're talking about the promo work, which is more important. She's going to have opportunities face-to-face in the ring. The next time she gets face-to-face in the ring on a promo situation with Charlotte, she better bring it. Because last time, Charlotte owned her.
And she hasn't even really got to, and they're doing it purposely. It's like Charlotte keeps coming in the ring when she's already been beaten, and it's basically just, you know what I mean? Like,
I want to see Tiffany beat down Charlotte. And be like, it's Tiffy time.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Not, it's Tiffy time.
Right.
You know? And
exactly.
I need to see, like, I need to believe that you're the best in the world and you're the champion and you're going to beat Charlotte. Because right now, there's no chance.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I know. I can't believe we just spent 5 minutes on that match. That was a terrible match.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
but hopefully...
Now we've covered all of Elimination Chamber because I forgot all about that match.
Yeah. I mean, the way it ended last night, that's all you can think of. I mean, the greatest heel turn. In my opinion, Cody needed this big time. Well, I've been asking for...
You've been asking for Cody just to have something.
And now, you know, I'm okay with him staying face, but I need to see... I'm pissed off now.
The American Nightmare.
Yeah.
I hope we get like that side of Cody.
Yeah.
And he started getting there with KO. You know, KO was making him go crazy, and people were talking to him, you can't let your mind go. You know, like this might have finally set Cody off the edge, and hope
Cody can come out and be like, I thought I was going to a dark place when I was going with Kevin Owens, and I backed off of it, and I should have never backed off because I took my eye off the ball for 1 minute. And one of the people that I thought was one of my best friends joined another there's a way that they can do this.
And like you talk about the little details, man, I'm telling you, The Rock having his Dusty's fucking death date on there what a detail to send Cody to a fucking another level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. Like, that's a huge detail. He made it a point the other night on that thing when he gave him the truck to say, you see this belt? And it said Cody Soul. And in June 11th, 2015, I think it was. And it's just like...
You know, Cody needs
I was wondering what that date was, and I'm like, it must be Dustin.
Cody needs to come out with Rocky Maeva's death date. Let's attack his dad. You know what I mean? If you're going to attack Cody's dad.
Well, I think that's where they're going to go, because Rock keeps mentioning that. Your dad, my dad, the legacies, this Rhodes and the Rock's family, they're wrestling legends. I mean, they're everything.
The Samoan, I mean, I don't think people realize how...
That's why Rock and Cody and Roman was so great. And now
I don't think anybody realizes, I mean, I think you've come to realize with the Bloodline story is how big that Anoa'i family is to the business. There's so many connections. And Rock's mom, you know, has one of the biggest independent scenes in Hawaii that guys develop over there. She puts on massive independent shows over there, and all these Samoans come through there, and you're starting to see more Samoans than probably you've ever seen in the business now. And I don't think we're done. I mean, I think we're going to see a new one. I think we're going to see Zilla Fatu somehow get involved with the story of Jacob and Solo.
Well, didn't it too last night? Do I remember right? Wasn't there like Cena using a watch on his hand? Is that
it was the Rolex that fell off of Cody?
Was that what Rock gave him after WrestleMania last year? Remember in the when they had that thing in the ring?
Well, no, he gave him a note.
Okay. I just was wondering if that was any significance of like.
I think it just happened to fall off, and then The Rock just used it. Like Michael Cole thought it were brass knuckles, and Pat McAfee goes, "It's a Rolex, Cole." Yeah, it was just more heel work. Like it was good. I mean, I just hope that Cena does this and runs with it, man.
Yep.
I hope he embraces it like Hulk Hogan did.
Yeah.
And
how great was that when Cody, we're watching it right now, Cody just go fuck yourself, Rock. That was fucking awesome, dude.
And The Rock knows it right there. He knows how good it was. Like it was.
Even Cena in the background.
Oh, he was great leading up to that moment. He's running around and he's, you know.
He's clapping Cody on like, oh, such good work. Yeah. Such good work.
I'm gonna turn myself around, and I'm the one. I've been a negative Cody guy.
He's gonna have an American Nightmare shirt next week, boys.
I'm just happy that he has a place to go now, and now there's some direction for him for WrestleMania, because I didn't want to see Cody CM Punk. I didn't want to see face versus face. And now, did I expect this heel and the way it happened? No, but I think Cody is going to benefit from this big time.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be great.
But, well, another episode in the books, KT. Elimination Chamber, a lot to unravel.
Yep.
A lot to unravel.
We're here. We're finally here.
Yep. And it's we're 6 weeks away. WrestleMania is on the horizon. 2 nights, Las Vegas. Actually, 4 nights between the SmackDown and Raw. But... again, guys, we appreciate everybody listening, watching.
Yeah, we keep seeing the comments. We keep seeing all the likes. We appreciate it. Keep subscribing. Our numbers are getting up there.
Yeah,
it's helping us, and we like doing this, and hopefully you like listening to us, and we'll keep doing it.
Next week, Forrest Nystrom, the entitled millennial, will be on the show from PWR Wrestling.
Yep.
We'll talk about what he's going through, the new group over there. And we'll see what he thinks about John Cena's heel turn, because this is something that shocks the entire wrestling industry, not just the WWE. These guys are into it just as much as you are.
Yep.
So we'll talk to Forrest about everything. Hopefully he'll be on his best behavior, but we doubt it. But we'll get him on, and
he is entitled.
And we'll talk next week and see what is all set for Shamrock Slamboree at OB's again, March 15th. But we will see everybody next week, KT, in the great words
Jackie
of Jackie
Moon.
Everybody love everybody. Peace.